I'm very concerned about the security threats from TikTok that the Chinese Communist Party can access sensitive data to monitor Americans, maybe blackmail them down the road. But the outline of this deal, I think, is very impressive. And if it's what we're hearing, I think this will address the security concerns. I want to hear that the Chinese government has completely endorsed this deal. But Trump wanted to find a way to address these security concerns, but not kick TikTok out of the country, and his team may have done that.
Very interesting. And as I mentioned, TJ, very good news, I think, for a lot of those TikTok influencers. And I say that with a smile, but actually in August alone, TikTok influencers in the United States, they averaged over $100,000 a year. Some of the top content creators make millions and millions and millions of dollars. But I mean, you know, this is big business. So I mean, that's also something that I think is important to look at, just from an economic perspective for Americans.
It's part of the landscape. It can't be denied. You know, TikTok is here. We got to get used to it. Protect our data. I guess protect the kids. I think it's up to all of us to once again double down on our own children and be the primary protectors of our kids and their data and their identities, and you know, and then let the $100,000 million TikTokers make their money and just point at me and laugh.
You actually have. Well, I shouldn't say it's not a real job. It is. They pay. They pay good money, I guess, Rebecca. Also, I think part of this was some of the content on TikTok. And what was taught to young people, especially.
Well, you know, most of the Gen Zers get their news from TikTok, and that's a problem. So the algorithm being changed and ByteDance not having any ability, apparently, under this deal, it needs to be verified. So no trusting, all verification, and that's going to be up to Oracle, which is awesome. But the fact is that, you know, the algorithm itself is a problem. So they're talking about changing the algorithm. But the other thing that I'm looking at, and I give kudos to this administration, this is really a bipartisan thing. And a law was passed in April of 23 under the Biden administration that basically said, hey, we can't have applications that are foreign adversaries. We've got to fix that. And so it was obviously originally banned under Trump in 2020, you know, saying it was coming. Then Congress passed a law. So this is bipartisan. But the fact is that basically, if you don't change the algorithm, then it's the issue is there going to be global worldwide content like there is right now, Bob? Like if you have an American licensed version, is that going to just be American content, or are we still going to get worldwide global actual
very
feeds?
Tricky.
And that's the thing that we don't really know yet. So it could be a different TikTok, a licensed American version of TikTok, and I don't think that people are prepared for that.
No, and I don't know. I don't know if we've heard reports that that's necessarily going to be the case. We're almost out of time, but Fred, really quickly, I know we're waiting for China to sign off on this. What is the incentive for them to do so?
I think China wants to make a deal with Trump. China wants to get rid of the tariffs. It would like to find a way to normalize relations, and it's consistent with Trump's effort to find a way to get along and to meet with the leaders of all nations, both friends and foes. I think the Chinese are on board, but look, I'll believe it when I see it. I want to hear some kind of statement from Beijing that they've completely accepted this deal, because I think it's a big win for the U.S.
Okay, they're working on it.
There we go.
It's supposed to be signed today. Fred, TJ, Rebecca, thank you.